glad you always remember because I never do. For those of you who have been around for a while, I think that this is going to be awesome for you too. So I'm super excited. And I'm glad that you were able to hop on late with us. She already had a Zoom at 9 and I was like, we'll just do 10. So thank you for making time for us. And whenever you're ready, we'll just go ahead and get started. I might not let you.
Sorry, I've just been stuffing my face with carrots and hummus, so I'm trying to be healthy like Julia, you know. And last night I had Reese's Pieces and cake batter for dinner, so we're doing better today. But I'm so excited to be hanging out with y'all. So if y'all don't know who I am, I'm Sheyenne Knox. I'm 22 now. I keep forgetting. 22, I'm ambassador. This December I will have been in the business for 4 years, and it's just so crazy to think how much has changed in my life since I got started. I was a broke 18-year-old high school student when I joined this business. I joined with 0 expectations and a whole 20 cents in my bank account. I literally couldn't even buy a chocolate bar if I wanted to. And so when I joined this business, it was like, you know, this is going to work. This might work. It may not. And I have 0 expectations. I'm just going to wing it. And that's exactly what I did. And I literally just got off a training where I was teaching my girls how to go Ruby, and it makes me think back to when I first went Ruby. There was a $500 bonus, and I was like, heck, I don't know what that is, but let's do it. And my second paycheck in the business, first one was $17. Was I grateful? Yes. Did I want more? Yes. Second month, it was $1,000 freaking dollars. And now you can do the exact same thing if you just got started in this business. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're new. Like this month or last month is like your very first month here. Probably a lot of you on here that are newer. And when you promote in this business to Ruby within your first 30 days, you get a huge bonus. Like, that's just crazy. So that makes me think of back when I first got started, and that's literally no expectations. Started working in the business within 5 months. I was a diamond. I was making that full-time income. I went off to college and I instantly was like, I'm just going to hang out here and just keep racking in this paycheck, but like, I'm not going to do the work, you know, because that's what we want to do. But that's not how life works. And all my team quit. I was literally at rock bottom, and I had that decision of either like, you know, fight or quit. That was really all I was faced with. And I always tell my girls, like, I saw Mary Beth Dodge, she's our field development leader. She posted in our top leader page, and she said, you can choose to be tough or you can choose to be tired. And it was in that moment that I had to choose to be tough. And I got up and went to conference, put my account $80 in the negative to get there. And we went from double to presidential in 8 months. We were number 94 income earners. And a year and a half later, we went ambassador diamond. And along the way, was it perfect? No. Was it always great? Absolutely not. But it's allowed me to live the life that I live now, and to become the person that I never thought that I would become, and to meet the friends that I never thought I would have. And I was just talking to my girls on there. I was like, is it normal to have 27 bridesmaids? I don't know. But now how am I supposed to choose? Because I have so many friends that this business brought me. And so I'm super excited to share tips with y'all, but that's really all I got.
I love it. Okay, so I know that you've shared a little bit that I've heard on a Zoom before, a little bit about like your promoting and maybe like a tough season in your business. So I think that we do have newbies on here that are kind of starting from ground zero, but we also have some people that are trying to like get back going and catch that fire. So what's maybe like a situation that you've been in before that they could really feed off of that?
Yeah, so I had a super quick start in the business. You know, obviously there's people that had faster starts, but I went diamond in 5 months and I earned a bonus. So when you're typically in a bonus period, you're doing it super fast and you're on fire and you're excited. And I promoted and felt like I was like P. Diddy. I was like, heck yeah, I'm making $2,000 a month. I just bought a Kate Spade bag from the outlet for like $90. It's the first thing I did when I went diamond. I felt so cool. And then immediately, I think I had like diamond for like 2 months after that. And everybody on my team quit, which I say everybody, there was like 2 people working. Okay, but that was everybody. That was all of them. It was all inclusive. And so they all quit. And it was in that moment that I started doubting myself. And I was like, maybe I'm not meant to be in this business. You know, what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm a one-hit wonder? And I went through all of this crap in my head of telling myself all these things. And then I realized, if other people do it, why can I not? Like, what is it that they have that I don't have? Like, what makes me different than these people? And I've said that for every promotion that I've ever had. And so I went to Jade Hooper. She's one of my uplines. I'm sure you'll know her. And I was like, listen, how do I go double? Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, it's just not happening. No one's working. And if you go on my YouTube channel, you can see it was like October of 2017. I had 2 people on my team Zoom. And I posted that recording, and it was the last team Zoom I did for a year because 2 people showed up. I was like, seriously? I was that red leader. I bulldozed all of my team. Like, if you didn't show up for me, I wasn't showing up for you. You were erased off my chart and you were dead to me. Like, bye, peace out. I'm gonna go find other people that want to work this business like me. And I went through a lot, and I'm so thankful now that I went through all of that because it taught me how to be the leader that I am today. But I realized in that moment that no one was coming to save me. No one. There was nobody that was going to pay my bills. There was nobody that was going to work my chart for me. There was nobody that was going to enroll distributors and put customers in the system. The only person that could do that was me. The only person that cared about my dreams was me. The only person that had any, idea about what I was doing was me. And I had to take life by the horns and just run with it. And so I did. And for the first time, in 11 months, I maintained executive all 11 months. For the first time after that, I got my double diamond chart out. I went to conference, went double diamond 30 days later, triple diamond 90 days later, and presidential 90 days later. And a lot of people are like, well, how did you do that? I don't know. The only thing I can tell you is that I started doing the work so that God could bless the steps. And I fully believe that if you're not willing to do the work and you're not willing to put in the numbers and you're not willing to put in, new people into the system, but you're willing to throw a pity party, there has to be a reevaluation of what you're here for. And whether you're here and you've been here for a while and you're trying to figure out why your business isn't where you want it to be, whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. And so if you're choosing to choose Netflix over working your business every day, if you're choosing to not pour into yourself and grow yourself in order to grow into the leader you're supposed to be, to lead the team that maybe you don't have yet, that you're preparing to have, like, you've got to think about the things that you're choosing now over what you want to do in your life, over what you want your business to look like. And a lot of times what happens is we typically promote, people on our team quit, we lose rank, and then we don't keep growing. And it's because you stopped growing. You didn't get your next chart out. You didn't get your next goals out. You have no idea what it is that you're working towards because you're so distraught that you're not where you want to be in your business. And I can tell you all these things because I've done it a million times. And it was when I got that double diamond chart out, I had 2 people working on my team. One of them was the presidential diamond to my ambassador, and one of them was a 400 box on that chart that is now a triple diamond. And both of them were the only people working with me when I went double. I enrolled 88 customers that month for chocolate greens and keto coffee because I got my own personal results. And I enrolled 14 distributors, filled that chart, filled the volume, ran with it, and went double diamond by the grace of God in 30 days. I don't know how it happened. All I can tell you is that I started doing the work. I was excited about my business. I was on fire about what I was doing. I was loving the people I was leading and not just erasing them off my chart if they didn't text me back in 2 seconds. Like I think we've all gone through that angry leader stage where we're like, oh, you're not working, bye. Like we all do that, but that's how it happened. And I think that it has to start, we look at that bigger picture and we're like, oh my gosh, how many of you drop a 2 in the chat if you're like, this promotion is just too freaking far. Like it's a mountain I cannot climb. I don't know how to do this. It's too much. I don't have a team working with me. It's this much volume. It's this much this. It's this, that. Listen, we are not meant to control all these things. Us as women, especially, sorry if there's any guys on here, you too, bud, if you're on here, I don't know. But we wear a lot of hats, okay? We wear a lot of hats, especially if you're on here and you're a mom and you're a college student, or you're working a job and you're also a wife, and we're expected to do a lot of things. And when it comes to this business, we're also expected to do a lot of things. I don't have kids, thank God. I don't have a husband, thank God. It's just me because I don't know how I would handle all that right now. Like I can barely keep myself alive or keep my house in order. If y'all haven't watched my stories, I'm sorry, but it's a lot going on right now. And it's a lot of hats. And so I have to sit back sometimes and say, what can I control? I can't control if people work. I can't control 4,000 volume for that next promotion. I can't control who quits. I can't control what customers say no. So all those things do not serve me. So I remove them, okay? Also, this year has been just a year for all of us. I ended a 5.5-year relationship out of nowhere. I blocked my mother on social media. I've removed a lot of things out of my life that no longer serve me because I know in order to be the leader that I'm supposed to be, in order to get to that next level, in order to get to that next rank, I have to learn what I can control. And I could control removing toxic from my life. I could control what my numbers looked like, what my enrollments looked like, how many hosty posts I was getting up, how consistent I was being. And so stop trying to control things you can't control, like the people that are not working on your team. Because I will tell you what, when I went ambassador, I did not have to beg my ambassador team to work for me. I did not have to ask them why they were not showing up on Zooms. I did not have to ask them, hey, where are the enrollments at? I served them enough in so many ways that when it came down to our promotion of our team going ambassador, I didn't beg anyone to show up for me. And so the people that you're trying to beg to work on your team, you're so distracted by those people that you're not able to bring in new. You're so distraught that you're not having as many people show up on your team Zooms. You're not having as many people talk in your chats when you should be out there going to hustle to find the yous of the world, the Teresas, the Emilys, the Danas, the Sarahs. Like, go find those people, and not people you have to beg to do a freaking post on social media. Not people that you have to beg to send you a dadgum screenshot. Like, I'm here to serve other people. And if they're not going to sit here and take the things that I'm giving them, there's only so much that I can do. And when you think about that next promotion of where you want to go, I don't care if you were once a diamond or once a double or once a ruby, or you're a brand new distributor and you're like, what is this girl preaching about? Just hold on, sister. There's so much coming that you just have to understand that it may seem like a mountain, but a mountain never gets smaller until you start climbing. When I was going ambassador and needed 68,000 in volume in 4 days, and we needed 131,000 in 30 days, I couldn't sit there and say 131,000 volume in 30 days. There's no way. I literally went live on my team page every day and said, okay, guys, we only need 20,000 in volume today. Oh God, like, I was panicking on the inside, but I just sat there and said, we have to pull in 20,000 in volume today. Did I know how? No. Did I know that we could do that? We've never done that before. Like, I just had to walk in faith every day. And if it wouldn't have happened, I would have got that much closer. And if it wouldn't have happened, I would have served that many more people. And because you continue to show up and you continue to do the things, it doesn't matter what you have done. It matters what you're going to do. Because I can sit here all the time and sit here and like live off of the hype of going ambassador, but I'm trying to go double ambassador now. Like, yeah, that was cool, but like, what if I double it? What if I do something more? Do I know how I'm going to get there? No. So ask yourself what you can control. And I don't even know if I answered the questions. I don't even know where that went, but I hope that was good enough.
That was absolutely perfect. I think everybody needed to hear that. I freaking loved every bit of that. I can just say that, like, we've been friends for a while now, so I've heard you talk many times, and I feel like your confidence has just like skyrocketed. And I know that a lot of that probably has to do with like journaling and personal development and leading Zooms. So can you talk a little bit about like how you got confident enough to be a leader, like for newbies that are on here and they're like, okay, I could never do a Zoom like this. Like, just talking a little bit about like the importance of personal development and just like believing in yourself.
Yeah. So I always tell this story because how many of y'all remember in high school when like you wanted to wear that one outfit, but you didn't wear that one outfit because of the fact that people were going to say like, you're wearing that, you know, those days, back in those days. Yeah, that was like a couple years ago for me, but I remember it so vividly because I bought these pants and I bought them in high school and I never wore those pants. They literally stayed in my closet for years. And I wore them the other day in an Instagram post and I felt so freaking cute in those daggum pants. I was like, I am wearing them. And they're my striped flare jeans, the black and white ones. Y'all know if you follow me on Instagram. I wore those dang pants. And it was that moment that I remember texting my friend and I was like, I literally can tell I've changed by these freaking pair of pants. It's the pants. And it's because 4 years ago, I didn't know this person that you see now. I didn't know that I was confident. I didn't know that I could lead. I remember I tried out for so many different leadership positions between student council and Interact Club and cheerleading, and I never got them. Ever. And I used to always think, what is wrong with me? Like, why does nobody want me to lead them? Like, what's going on? And then I joined this business and I was thrown into it. They were like, okay, you have people on your team. Like, you have to show up for them. You have to do this. You have to do that. And it was more of me learning that in order for me to become confident, in order for me to become, insert your thing that you want, whether it's confidence, whether it's to be excited, whether it's to be happy, I don't know what it is, but in order to become that, you're going to have to fall flat on your face 157 times in order to get there. And the things that I've had to do in order to be the leader that I am, or to enroll people, or even to think like, oh, we can go ambassador, like things like that. Like, you just have to say it and just start believing it as you do it. And what we always say is to borrow that belief. Like, I wasn't born a leader. And yeah, some people are, you know, stronger leaders than others, but it's a muscle that you can grow. And it's kind of like, I mean, I text Julie about fitness advice all the time. I text her this morning, why don't I have abs? I've been running every day. It's something that I got to keep doing every single day to get better at it. The first mile I ran, I threw up in my neighbor's yard and they saw it. Okay. And today I can run a mile without stopping. Now, did I do that when I first started? No, I never thought that I'd ever get to that point where I was like, man, I'm excited to run. This morning I was excited to run. Yeah. it has come. The moment has come where like, I'm a runner now. Okay. And so when it comes to you being confident in your leadership, you may not feel confident now, but if you don't start leading, if you don't start enrolling, if you don't start being excited and confident and pouring into yourself and opening a book, you can't grow that muscle. You know, I would love to not eat healthy. I'd love to eat Taco Bell every day and like get skinnier, but it does the reverse effect. I can't eat Taco Bell every day if I want to get better. I have to start making positive steps towards that. So if you're on here and maybe you don't feel like you're a leader, you don't feel like one right now, but that's because you haven't made any steps towards growing towards being a leader. And I think it's even crazier when you look at that. How many of y'all have started doing something every day and like you don't see the results in the moment? Like when I was working out, it was like 7 days in, I'm like, nope, still got rolls, it's fine. But then now I look at a before and after picture and I'm like, I didn't even notice that, right? Like it's such a minimal thing every day. It's the same with leadership. You're going to get on this Zoom and then you're going to sweat through this Zoom and then you're going to have a panic attack before this Zoom and then you're going to stumble over your words for 30 minutes on this Zoom and forget what you're supposed to say. And then one day you're going to do a Zoom and you're going to be like, wow, I killed that. That's amazing. When I first did my very first Facebook Live, it's so far you can't even scroll and see it anymore. Like it's just gone. I don't even know where they're at. Anybody know what happens to your Facebook Lives? They just kind of disappear. You can't scroll back far enough. But I'm in a burnt orange t-shirt. And I remember when I got on this live and I went and watched it the other day, and people were literally commenting and saying, hey, like you should smile. Like, are you going to smile? And I'm sweating and I get off this Zoom and the whole back of the shirt is a different color. It's brown. It's no longer burnt orange. It is brown because I sweat through it. And now I love doing them. I do them all the time. I love Facebook Lives. I love Zooms, but I didn't start this way. And a lot of times we look at other people and we're like, oh my gosh, they have this and they have that. And she has this house and she has this car and she has this and that. I used to not wear flare jeans to school because I was afraid that people were going to talk about me. And now I own those pants. So just keep failing upwards and you're going to figure it out.
I love it. That's awesome. And I also really like the pants too. Okay, so let's say that the people right now, we're fired up, we're excited, but we're like, okay, so what do we do? So can you tell us a little bit, like, what do you do every day to actually work your business?
Yeah, so, feelings are one thing, but actions are another. And a lot of times when we get off trainings, we're like, I am hyped, man, let's do it. It's like coming out of that, like in a football game when they come out of their helmet and they're all hyped up and then they lose the game because they didn't use the action. They got the hype, but they didn't actually do the practice before. So when it comes to taking these things from Zooms and getting that excitement, that feeling, when it comes to actually doing the work, sometimes we kind of get lost because we're looking for that feeling of motivation. And I also talk about this a lot on my Instagram story, so you probably know what I'm going to say, but like, stop looking for when you feel like doing that 6 list. Stop looking for that feeling of, I don't want to do this today. I'd rather not. I don't feel that great. I have a headache. I don't have the energy. I have too much going on. I'm overwhelmed. Blah, blah. We could all find an excuse every day. I could too. Okay. And sometimes I do. Let's be real. Okay. But when it comes to the actual action, my life looks a lot different than it did when I first got started. And when I first got started, my schedule, to make a long story short, I was getting up every single morning at 5 a.m. and I wasn't getting home until midnight. I was going to college class early in the morning, going to school all day. Our school blocked social media, so I couldn't even be on my phone. Had cheer practice, different club and organizations meeting, drove to work, drove back home from work, also still had to take a shower, do my homework. It was nuts. But you want to know where I worked? In the bathroom, hiding in the drink closet at the restaurant, at stop signs, at stop lights, in the bathroom at school. I would literally just make it work. And so then I went to college. How many of you were in college? Okay, if you tell me that you're a college student, you don't have time, it's baloney. I had more time in college than I did at any point in my life. Okay, you're taking 18 credit hours, 20 max. There are like 100 hours in a week. You got time, boo-boo. You got all the time in the world. And so then I was working it through that, and now I do this business full time, but you obviously see my life is still freaking chaotic somehow. And so when it comes to working, I still do the same things now that I did then. I just 10x my efforts, and I have a lot more people to lead. When I first started, I was just doing my 6 list. I was posting, I was copying the right cats. I was doing what my upline was doing. I was reaching out, having those solid conversations every day. We didn't have Instagram stories then, and we also didn't have post to post, and I did it then, so you can definitely do it now. Okay, I believe in you. I don't know how I did anything before any of that stuff came out, but now people look at me and they're like, oh, well, you do this full time. It's easier for you. I also have much more of a workload than I've ever had in my life. I'm also leading an ambassador team while also trying to build an entire other team. I also have leaders that only come to me with their problems because they need help. I have new distributors blowing me up with screenshots all day. Like, there comes more of a workload when it comes to, you know, promoting to higher rank. Other top leaders and think, oh, well, they have all this time in the world. I have less time, if anything, now. It's like, oh, I do this full time, but I'm like this all day trying to help everybody and, you know, wearing all the hats that we wear. And so every day I try to stick to the same routine. Does it happen all the time? No, because life says LOL at that one. But I wake up every day and I pour into myself first. I do not look at my phone. I do not open text messages. I do not answer phone calls. I am booked and busy in the morning on this computer doing journaling Zooms every morning. I go work. I go move my body first because I realize the importance of my health. I do. And I know that if I start now, it will make everything else in my life better because I feel good about myself. When you don't feel good about you, and I know this is not like a workout Zoom, and I'm definitely not anybody that should be speaking on health, okay? I just had spaghetti and Reese's for dinner last night. So not the conversation we're talking about, but you should start with you. Start with you feeling good, reading a book, pouring into yourself, working out, eating healthier, pouring into you to make sure that you feel good so that when you're pouring into other people, it comes out a lot better than when you don't feel good and you don't feel confident and you don't feel excited and you have nothing good to pour out of you. So that's the first thing. Then I go through all my text messages. I make my coffee video in the morning. I post some stuff on my stories. I document my life, as y'all see, good and bad. I'm an open book. And then I make sure that I do my own work. Okay, sometimes we can get caught up in like, oh, I am working, but you're just scrolling. I am working. I'm helping my new distributors. No, like your own numbers. Post to post, posting on your story, posting your life post for the day, following up with the people that you talked to last week. Those are the vital things. It's the 6 things that we all do: posting, messaging, following up, interacting, growing your network, like those basic things. And then also making sure that I'm, you know, engaging with my team, checking in with those people that have kind of been a little quiet, you know, recognizing those that need recognition, interacting with my followers, just stuff like that throughout the day. But it's also something that the more that you go in the business and the bigger that your team gets, the more that you realize the importance of being consistent. You have to be consistent, guys. If you want the secret sauce, many of you are like, how did you do it? Consistency. When my life sucks, I'm consistent. When my team quits, I'm consistent. When I miss a promotion, I'm consistent. When my volume is tanking, when my paycheck drop, consistent. There's never a time in my life that I've ever gone without working my business, ever. It's just not an option. Like, if I didn't go to my 8 to 5 and said, hey, yo, where's my paycheck? That literally sounds so stupid. I don't get it. Like, hey, I'm missing like 20 hours. We only came to work one day last week. Well, can I get paid every day? No, not how it works. So when it comes to this, you've got to work every day. Now, do we get paid on the time? No. We get paid on the results from the time. So the time that you're not putting in is the results you're not getting. So when you're upset about your paycheck or upset about what you're doing or about your chart or about your team or promotions, I can pretty much guarantee that's your fault. And that's the worst part about this business is like, it's on you. It's going good, it's on you. It's going bad, it's still on you. And it's also a blessing. You know, it's a hard thing to do as, you know, being our own boss, but just do the things every day. Do them. And I promise you that when y'all are doing trainings like this and you've got lives in the team page and they're sharing scripts and they're doing all this stuff, take the resources that you have and run with them, because that is what we're doing.
I love it. That was pretty much my next question is, you know, like when life gets tough or, you know, people join, they get excited and then they have like their first real life thing happen and all of a sudden like business is on the back burner. So how do you always make sure that you keep your business up front, like no matter what you're going through, just being like intentional with your time?
So I think this is something that you learn over time when you start going through things. I've had a lot happen this year. I know a lot of us have, but you know, I lost my sister-in-law, and in the process I was able to go and be at, you know, MD Anderson and be with my family and never have to take off and never have to question if I could go. And then I had family stuff happen with my mom and things like that. And then, you know, I ended my relationship. Like, there were so many things that happened. And every time all I could sit there and think was like, it is the middle of the day on a Tuesday. I'm traveling to this place. I'm going to this place. I'm going to the funeral in a week early. I'm handling this. I'm able to move this. Like all these moments that I'm like, what if in that moment that I thought my life was hard, that I gave up or didn't work my business consistently or didn't do the things that I was supposed to do, what would I be doing now? I would have just had to ask my boss, hey, can I take off 3 weeks from work to go be with my family and help them transition in this? They'd say, LOL, get to work. But instead, I was doing the work for my own dreams, for my own future, for the future that's going to happen, because it's not a matter of if life is going to happen, it's a matter of when. And there's always going to be things that are happening, and it's never going to be like, you know, most people are like, well, there's stuff happening. And I'm like, well, next week there's going to be more happening, even though they're like, well, it's going to calm down by then. No, that's not how life works. There's always something happening. So you just have to make the decision that you have to dig in. And when it gets hard, you have to dig your heels in a little bit harder than that and realize that when you go through things in this business, that's the stuff I share on Zooms. The rock bottom that I talked to you about for the first 20 minutes of this Zoom, that's what I'm sharing. I'm not sharing the good part about that. I'm sharing the bad part to show you that you can come out on the other side. And so I've gone through losses in this business. I've gone through all kinds of things, you know, in my own life that, yeah, it was easier if I would have just not done it. Yeah, it was easier to say, I don't feel like doing host to post today. But what's easier is getting a $30,000 paycheck. What's easier is purchasing a house, purchasing a car, seeing people on your team do it, being able to speak on a Zoom and saying, I did this and so can you. That's easier. Not in the moment, but afterwards it is. And so no matter what you're going through in your life, you just have to decide what's more important. The life that I want, would I rather, you know, choose tough or choose tired? And sometimes you have to choose tough even when you're tired.
Geez, I think even I needed that. That was awesome. Okay, so I'm going to have one more thing, and then if you're cool with it, I'll let everyone ask questions, just a few. So you guys can put questions in the chat box, but I always end it just asking, like, if you could leave everybody with one thing, what would your one thing be?
I got lots of things. I mean, it's the 22nd. Okay, so when it comes to, let's think back to August 1st, what was the thing that you shouted out and told yourself that you were gonna do? Wait, I said August. I don't even know what month it is. It's October. October 1st, on that day, what was it? Drop it in the chat. What was that thing you said you were gonna do this month? We're gonna have a reality check, okay? I'm gonna get real with you. Let's do it. Drop it in the chat. What are we gonna do? Go Emerald, Diamond. Keep them coming. Go in Ruby. Ruby, build 3 rubies, promote, diamond, rank back, triple diamond, ruby, executive, diamond. Okay, where are you? Are you doing it? How many customers have you enrolled? What about distributors? Have you posted consistently? Have you been showing up on Zooms? Have you been checking in on your team? This is your report card. This is the moment where you say, why do I keep saying that I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z and get to the end of the month every month and say, oh, just gonna do it next month, not this month, it's not happening. You are in control. I think that people forget the importance of knowing, like, guys, you were raised being told what to do. You went to elementary school and got told when to go to the bathroom. You went to middle school and got told when you could go to practice, when you could do this, when you could leave. You had to ask to leave the classroom. You go to high school, you're still told what to do. Oh, and then you go to college and you're told that you're an adult and you're still told when you can go to the bathroom, when you can leave, when you have to show up for class, when your bills are due. And then you join this business, and the moment you finally have some kind of control, we let go of it. And we let life control us instead of thinking, I literally can write my own paycheck. If I wanted to go make $70,000 next month, I could do it. But it's all based on my decision. If I wanted to go and promote to ambassador by the end of the year, I could do it. No one's telling me that I can't. There's no ceiling, there's no cap, there's no nothing on anything that you're doing in this business. The only cap is you. And so it's the 22nd of the month, and I challenge you to say, did I do what I was supposed to do this month? Have I even done my 10 host to post every day? Have I even shared my story enough to where people are even reaching out to me? Have I been texting my uplines asking them what more could I be doing? If the answer is no, then why are we getting upset every month when we're the ones in control? We are literally the captains of our ship. We're driving the truck, and you have your foot on the brake. Take it off the brake and put it on the gas pedal. And there's going to be people that quit. There's going to be people that are saying at October 1st, I'm ready to rally with you. I'm so excited. And they're nowhere to be found. But are you somewhere to be found? Are you the reason that maybe they stopped because you stopped casting the vision? You know, when I was promoting, let's talk about any promotion other than ambassador. I keep talking about ambassador because it was just freaking crazy. But let's talk about presidential. It was even crazier. I didn't even get charted for that promotion until the 19th of October. 2 years ago this month, I went presidential. Did not get charted until the 19th. I very easily could have said, we're not even charted. Oh my gosh, it's the 15th. We're not charted. Oh no, it's the 16th. We're still not charted. The 19th, I got pulled for that promotion and we went gung ho, and it was October. And that's the biggest month I've ever had for customer enrollments. And it was the fourth quarter of the year. And so if you're choosing to say, it's a season, it's slow right now, nobody has any money, that's a mindset. You're choosing to say that. Because I promoted to presidential that month. Courtney Bohr went double diamond in December. It's all up here. And so if you are saying it's a 22nd, well, it's time to throw in the towel, we're going to throw in the towel on the 22nd next month, maybe even sooner. So what are you deciding to end your month as, and what are you choosing? Guys, you're probably fearful of it. You're afraid that that volume's too much. You're afraid that you're not going to have the people rally with you. You've got two God-given fears: fear of loud noises and the fear of falling, not the fear of volume, not the fear that you're not good enough, not the fear that your team's not going to rally with you. Like, you've got to push aside fear and say, I'm choosing to walk in faith. I'm choosing to say that I cannot physically control the amount of volume that has to come in, but I'm going to do the things that I know to do in order for God to bless my steps. And when you think about any crazy story that you've ever heard where you're like, okay, there's no way that that was done by them, God wants us to do big things in order for us to be able to say, I didn't do this alone. He wants there to be scenarios where he says, where other people can say, God stepped in on that. There's no way she did that. There is no freaking way that we pulled in 20,000 in volume on our own without him aligning the way that that came, because I've not heard of anybody doing that. Maybe Barb Hauser. Okay, she went diamond in 9 days. She's a different breed. But listen, you have to do big things. You are made for more. You are not made to sit there and say, I can't pull in 2,000 volume for diamond. Who told you that? You. And if you don't step in and start doing the things that you never thought you'd do, you'll never accomplish things you never thought that you'd do. You've got to start stepping into who you're supposed to be and start failing. You know why most people are like, I'm not going to do that thing. I'm not going to end my relationship. I'm not going to go like message this guy because I think he's cute, because I'm just not going to do it. What if he says no? What if he doesn't? Oh, I'm not going to go wear this. I'm not going to go post this because what if people think I'm stupid? What if they don't? Oh, I may not, go after this promotion because the volume's too big and it's too much. And what if I fail? What if you don't? And stop asking yourself, what if I fail? And start saying, what if I don't? And start replacing that every single day. It's a 22nd. You still have plenty of time. We enrolled over 100,000 in volume in the amount of time that you're sitting here waiting. You can enroll 2. You can enroll 800. You can enroll your 6 customers for your shopping spree. You can get those 3 distributors to be charted for your promotion. You've got to decide that you are in full control and no one else is stopping you. This is not our 0 to 18 where we're told when to go to the bathroom or when we can do this or when we can do that. Ask yourself for permission. Because in a year from now, when you're like, hey, can I go on this week trip to Hawaii? Yeah, girl, go ahead. Feels a lot better when you're the person that you ask and not the person that you're building their own dreams for them at your job. Okay?
Big facts. I love that. I love that, what if you don't? And I think that that's huge, is that we really talk ourselves out of most things that we end up like considering failing. Is we just totally talked ourselves out of it. You have killed this. Absolutely. So I'll give everybody a few minutes if anybody has any questions. But I think this is exactly what we needed. You guys can drop a question or drop a 1 if this is exactly what you needed, because I needed it. I think that we all just need that little reminder. Okay, there's one. How do you cope with all the stressors of life? Humor. No, I'm just kidding.
Literally laughing like when I ran around my house as my house was flooding. I don't know what to do. That's what I do. Okay. And also the biggest thing, I was talking to one of my girls, I think she's on here. Faith. That's it. When I think about any kind of situation, and I don't know if all of you are spiritual or whatever you follow, I don't know, but there's a lot of things that I've done in my life, whether it's business or life, that I had to lean on something bigger than me, because there's a lot of things that I'm like, I don't know, because I wing it like chicken dinner every day. I don't know. I've not walked through this. And you also have to think, every promotion that you're walking through, every life stress you're going through, it's probably something that's uncharted territory. You've probably never done it before. So you're not expected to know. You're not expected to handle it or balance it. And you always hear that quote, like, God's not going to give you more than you can handle. False. Yes, he will. It's to teach you something and to show you that you can't lean on yourself sometimes. You got to lean on him and lean on something bigger than you in order to get through it. That's what I would say.
That's perfect. I'll let you just answer the ones that you want to.
Ruby. Okay, I'll do what I do every single week and talk to my girls about how to go Ruby. You see this thing? It's a chart, okay? Some companies don't have these, and it's just like a free-for-all. We have the best company in the entire world where they say, hey, here you go. This is exactly what you do. Take it or leave it. And so when you get this chart out and you print it out, you need to get your shopping spree. And if you've already done that, make sure you're commission qualified. And then you get 3 distributors on your team. If you literally went to the grocery store right now and said, who wants $500? You'd have a line. Okay, so go find the people that would be in that line to fill these boxes. And I can tell you that you don't have to know anything. You don't have to make any money. You don't have to have a house, a car, a story. You have to be excited, confident. Talk about exactly what you're going to do with this business, why you're excited, how you're making an extra income, because you want to know how I get people to join me. I can't talk about my income. I don't talk about my paychecks. I don't share that stuff anymore. I share why I love this business, the friends, the freedom, the fact that I can make an extra income. It doesn't matter what your story looks like. You just have to be excited. How many of y'all think that I love what I do? How many of y'all get the vibe that I'm hyped up and I'm excited right now? All of you probably feel that way. And if you don't, I should reevaluate myself, but I feel really hyped right now and I feel really excited and I do a lot of trainings. That is why people get excited when they get on Zooms. It's not the content, because they're excited. They're like, oh my gosh, her energy. Yes. That's why people join me. They're like, I can tell you love what you do. So you're going to get 3 people that can tell you love what you do, get them on your team, and you're going to help them get their shopping spree. And if they don't get it, you do some host to post and you put the customers underneath them and get yourself a fast start bonus. Okay. So then you help these 3 distributors do the exact same thing that you're doing. You say, okay, go find some people that you want to do this business with. I literally have best friend, coworker, and cousin in these boxes because that's what it is. My 3 best friends that were in high school literally counted change out of their car in between their seats to get started with me. Okay. If you share enough about it and you're excited enough, people are going to join with you. And so get out there, share your story, like your story, why you joined, what made you say yes to this, what you love about it works, what you love about your team, what you love about your upline, what you're going to do. I used to talk about, when we could, I was like, I'm getting a $10,000 diamond bonus. What are y'all doing? Hey, y'all, I'm going to get a $10,000 diamond bonus. Hashtag join my team. Hashtag black, green, and bling. My posts were awful, but people still joined me because I was excited. That's how I know that works, because my posts were wretched, terrible. And we used to post like 9 times a day. Okay. And I got 2 likes, my dad and my upline. That was it. And people still joined me because I was hyped and excited. So then they get started. They start helping their people join their team. You're still enrolling. Okay, you never get to this point and say, okay, I'm done. No, we're sharing it every day. We're talking to new people. We're hyped. We're excited. And you just keep building. Okay, it's what we do. If you have people that don't work, that's okay. You're going to find the ones that work. When you think about a deck of cards, there's 4 aces in a deck of cards. 4. Okay, you got to flip a lot of 2s, a lot of 6s, a lot of 5s that are like, I'll get a couple customers, or maybe the ones that join the witness protection program after they join immediately, and you're like, no, not even, you just wasted the money. Okay, you wasted my code, thank you. We all have them, but it's going to happen. And then you place another person there, and you place another person there. Well, they say that you can have 3 really strong leaders to get you to ambassador. And I am telling you that that is true. You can have 3 strong leaders, and then all the tiny people are what matter. When we went ambassador, it wasn't my doubles and diamonds that were mass enrolling. It was the people getting their shopping spree, and the people going Ruby, and the people that we reached out and said, hey, you're only a couple sales from executive. Let's do this. Like, that's what matters, is all the tiny people that you're helping. And I think sometimes we forget when we're trying to go Ruby, they want to go Ruby too. It's not just you. This box that says you right here, yeah, you want to be $500 richer, but so do they. So when you get this chart out, yes, you have 3 boxes, but so do they. So if you're teaching them, get your shopping spree, be excited, talk about what you're doing, talk about your story. What are they going to do? Look at the same chart that you look at with the same urgency and the same excitement. And then you turn right back around and you're like, oh, shoot, they wanted to go Ruby. Now I'm charted for Emerald. And then, oh my goodness, the tree keeps getting bigger. Now I'm going diamond. It's that easy. And that's how I promote it. And that's how I teach my girls to promote, is basically just be excited and wing it every day.
I love it. That's perfect. I love the way that you describe Ruby. And I think that a lot of times we just overcomplicate it. And it's really that simple, that find 3 people and do the same thing over and over again.
Exactly.
Let's see if there are any others. This was awesome. Thank you so much. I think that those were the most Yeah, I think that that's awesome. Okay, thank you so much. I seriously appreciate it. I know that there's going to be so many people that are excited to watch the recording too. I'll probably watch it myself. But thank you so much. We love
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.